This call may be monitored or recorded for quality assurance or training purposes.
This call may be recorded.
What's up, my friends, and welcome back to This Call May Be Recorded. This is the show where we listen to recorded customer service phone calls and coach them up live for all of you to hear. I'm Zach Garside. I'm your host. This is episode 61 of This Call May Be Recorded. And today I've got with me Tasha Iono. Tasha.
Hello, Zach. How are you?
I'm absolutely amazing.
Excited to be here.
We'll also be having one more person jump on with us who's finishing up some training today. But Tasha, how's life?
It's great. Great. Yeah, I just moved into my new place. I'm still getting settled in. So currently my office is in my kitchen.
Nice. I love it.
Yeah, living the dream for sure.
Yeah, it's 2023. We can work from anywhere.
That's right. That's right.
Awesome. Well, my friends, tell me in the comment section where you are tuning in from today. What part of the world do we have the pleasure of receiving your company from? A big welcome to our friends at Caffeinated Customer Experience. Great podcast. Jason checking in from Los Angeles. Jason, I grew up in Los Angeles. You ever heard of San Pedro? We've got Roman Plumbing. Let's do this. Javier coming at us from Jersey. I'm assuming
Nice.
New Jersey. Welcome, everybody. This is the show where we ask the hard questions. The hard questions being, what makes a great customer experience? What makes a customer say, wow, this is the business for me. This is the company that I'm going to give my hard-earned dollars to, that I'm going to work with. And as we always do here on This Call May Be Recorded, we begin with a rant of epic proportions. And today's rant is about the fact that facts don't sell. I don't know if you've ever learned this. Perhaps you've learned it the hard way. But facts, like how much you charge, how quickly you can get out there, what type of equipment you sell, how well stocked your trucks are, facts do not sell. It's not facts, it's feelings. It's the emotional connection. This is a very hard truth for most companies to accept because we get so committed to, is so tied to our facts that we never stop to consider how are we making the customer feel. But scientifically, we know that in the human brain, information, facts, are processed by the neocortex. And the neocortex has no capacity for decision making. The part of your brain that processes facts does not make decisions. The limbic brain, on the other hand, the part of the brain responsible for processing emotions, makes all the decisions. It is the decision-making part of the brain. It calls the shots and processes feelings, but it has no capacity for logical, factual thinking, which is fascinating, isn't it? We are emotional creatures. We are driven by our feelings. We are driven by our emotions. We're driven by the way that we feel when we interact with a brand. So if you are making customers feel like, oh, they just want to charge me up the wazoo, they don't care about me, I'm just another number to them, don't be surprised when your booking rates tank, when your conversion rates are small, when your average tickets are low, because customers, they will only give their money and their loyalty to companies that make them feel absolutely amazing. Tasha, what are your thoughts on that?
I love it. I think it goes right into, making a connection rather than a business transaction right off the bat on the phone. And I think, having our CSRs do that, just the minute they pick up the phone call and they're looking to connect with another human being, it's going to really get that point across well. And I've heard you say before, it just escaped me. It's about the way they feel about what's that saying that you say all the time?
People do not act on what they know. They act on how they
There
feel
you go.
about what they know.
Yes, they act on what they feel about what they know. And it's interesting in the home services because most of the people that call us have no idea what's going on. Right? They don't know anything about their HVAC system, their plumbing, their electric, or they'd probably do it themselves. And so it's getting them to act on how they feel about what they know. And all they know is that they need help. And so I think you can really tap into that.
My kids know that they're supposed to be in bed by 8 o'clock and do their chores and not fight and argue and not throw food on the floor and at the walls. But they don't act on what they know. They act on how they feel about what they know. And if they're feeling pissed at mom and dad, they're not going to do what they should do. Welcome, Barbara from Orange County, New York. Welcome, Heather from Moses Lake, Washington. Great turnout today, my friends. We've got one more person to join us on the show today. Please welcome Tatiana Iono.
Hi.
Welcome. How was training?
Oh, man. It was good. 4 hours, you guys. It was strong. It was fun.
Good stuff.
Killing it.
If you're liking the vibes of today's show so far, guys, and you want somebody like Tasha or Tatiana to work with your CSRs, Tatiana just spent 4 hours with a team of CSRs, teaching them everything they need to know about how to book the call, wow the customer. All you got to do is go to powersellingpros.com and get yourself a free training sample and then schedule a consultation. All that said, you ladies ready for a great show?
Yeah, let's get into
Let's do it.
All right. Tasha, you've got the phone calls today.
I do.
Why don't you tee up one of those for us? And just so the audience, listeners know, we don't listen to these phone calls beforehand. We react live just like all of you. So we've got 24 people watching live right now with us. While you're watching, playing these phone calls, in the comment section, please tell us, what are your thoughts? What feedback would you give these CSRs if you were their coach?
All right, let's kickstart things. Here we go.
Okay. Hey, Greg, I was on the other line. I'm sorry I lost you.
Oh, it's okay, Greg. It was Greg, right?
Yes.
Okay, give me just one second, Greg. I'll be right back with you. I'm sorry, I got another line coming on.
Thank you kindly.
Of course. Sorry for that wait. I really appreciate it, Greg. Okay, so we're having a coupling that split or popped off. So now you have two pipes that aren't connected anymore that should be.
So it's the main line coming into the house, into the residence from the street, kind of elongated U-shaped pipe that comes in from the meter above ground and then back underground, and the pipe is severed, spewing water all over the place.
Oh, God.
The pipe is above ground. Don't need to do any digging or something like it. It's above ground. First, spewing water. Probably just the pipe needs to be fixed, reattached or fixed or something.
And
the
this is a house, right?
Yes, it's a residence.
Okay. That is definitely something we could help with. I'm actually all full for the evening, and I won't have an available appointment until afternoon tomorrow. Are you able to shut off the water? No, if you shut off the water, shut off water to the whole house.
Yeah, I don't really know how to do that, quite frankly.
That's fair. Well, you definitely
So
need
you're not
someone
available
to-
at all?
No, I'm
Sorry?
completely booked until tomorrow. That's how busy it's been on the islands.
Okay, should we stop there and chat?
Yeah, what do you think?
Let's do it.
I was very confused at the beginning. I was like, what is happening? But I think the thing that is definitely standing out the most to me is his solution does not match his empathy. Right? Like he was like, oh God, like he was showing the empathy, and I was like, okay, like we've got a little bit of emotion there, and then he's like, yeah, we can't help. The guy's like, I don't know how to turn it off. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, totally.
You're not a plumber, so I guess that's fair. I don't know. That was my first thought. What do you guys think?
Oh man, my immediate thought was kind of like Barbara. Ouch! I was like, oh, you get in there, you have an issue, and the first thing you hear is, "Can't put you on hold," and it's like a stab right to the heart, because on their side of things, it's an emergency. and we didn't know this in the beginning, but we learned that he's scared his house is going to flood. He has no idea what he's doing. And so when we meet our customers, not expecting that there may be an emergency, not, preparing for that, kind of sends a sting right through him. You can tell he was like, oh, ouch.
A key phrase that I will take to my grave with me and that will hopefully never rise from the dead is we are completely booked. That's how busy it is here. I have nothing. I'm completely booked. I can't get out there till tomorrow. What you're telling the customer in that situation is you're not important enough to us. I've got a whole list of people who are way higher on my priority list than you. And that hurts. That's generally not how the CSR means it. But it's not about what we mean. Intention doesn't always match impact. Your intention might be to simply relay the facts. But again, people don't buy the facts. People buy the emotion. And the emotion and the interpretation of that message is, you guys don't care about me. I am just a faceless, nameless number on a spreadsheet to you guys. Another call in the system. Can you shut your water off for a day and a half? Yeah, I mean, that's the empathy-driven response, right? What are you asking the customer to do?
Right.
And are you how it's going to affect their life?
Yeah.
Also,
And I think it's important also to, have a process maybe in the office for things like that, right? When the house is flooding or it's like an emergency, having, we do the urgency list in the backup plan, and maybe there's a process and something to follow when it's, my toilet's clogged up and my house is flooding, right? There's two different things, two different extreme situations that need to be approached way differently as far as compassion goes.
Do you guys feel like a lot of your CSRs that you've worked with really grasp priority and prioritizing?
Ooh,
I
good
think
question.
people are too trapped to understand it. Like the systems are too rigid for most CSRs to do what's truly best for the customer.
Yeah.
In this situation, this customer's obviously got an emergency situation.
Right.
But this CSR has been conditioned and trained to believe that the system the company has to make its own life easier is more important than the customer's emergency.
Yeah.
But when you're dispatching and scheduling calls, priority number one should be emergencies.
Mm-hmm.
Help people in need. You will earn more loyalty, more long-term business that way.
Yeah.
Number two is memberships. Right? Prioritize who's on your customer list. Number three is, help me out here. What's number three? It's not drive time. It's not. You guys are on.
I don't know. What is Zach?
Yeah, there's five.
Let's go, Zach.
I gotta get my hand in the shot here. There's five rules for dispatching. Rule number one is if it's an emergency, move to the top of the list.
Okay.
Second priority is customers who are on your maintenance plan. Third priority is age of the system. So like, what is the revenue potential of the job? Number four is your why am I blanking out? And number five though is drive time. Like how long is it going to take us to get there? That's not. We have some pushback though. Let's see. That's not entirely fair though. The company might have 5 other emergencies too. That's true. And that's where you have to have good judgment. Like the most important skill of a dispatcher CSR is judgment. The ability to take those 5 emergencies and judge which one we should go to first, second, third, fourth, and fifth. This is not an exact science. This is not a black and white system or plan. It requires judgment. It requires empathy, good decision making, great customer service skills. It's not an exact science, but that's exactly why it breeds so much more loyalty. The things in your business that are not an exact science, that require a little bit more art and empathy, those are the things that earn fierce loyalty.
Right. I agree. Totally.
The call wasn't handled well. but we only get one side here. Maybe clarify what you mean there, Katie. I'm not sure what that last part of that sentence means. Should we go to another phone call, Tasha?
Yeah, let's do it. All right. Let's see here. Let me get this up. Okay, here we go.
Thank you for choosing. This is Sam. How may I help you?
Hi, this is Lauren. We woke up to no heat.
Oh, no, Lauren. Well, yes, we can definitely help you out with that. Now, tell me a little bit more. Is it not kicking on at all?
No, it doesn't seem like it. We got back into town last night and we were out of town since Thursday. And yeah, it doesn't seem to be kicking on.
Oh, no. Well, we can definitely have a technician come out and see what's going on. My name's Sam. I'll be taking care of you today. And Lauren, let's take a look. Absolutely. Now, let's take a look here. When would you like us to come out?
My husband works from home today, so we're available all day.
Perfect. All right, let's take a look here. And just to confirm, you're at...
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So yes, today in the afternoon, would that work for you, for your husband?
Yeah. Yep.
Awesome. I'll send out a trained and certified technician that's backed by our company that's been in business over 60 years. So I assure you're in great hands. He'll come out with a fully stocked truck to look at the scope of the work, determine why that's not kicking on like it should, go over all your options before he starts. And Lauren, I noticed you're on the Silver Savings Club, and that's a great time to have that in place because it gives you a priority service and discounts in case something would happen and need repaired. So let's see here. And I see you're scheduled already for your cooling tune-up in May. That's May 16th.
Yep.
You did your heating tune-up. So, all right. Well, the technician will reach out this afternoon when he's on the way, and we will get you some heat, okay?
Awesome. Thanks so much.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you for being a valued customer. I hope you have a great day, Lauren.
You too. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Wow. I was finding a place to stop it, and I was like, no, this is amazing. I literally can't stop it. I know. It was like, this value statement. I know it's going to be awesome. So
Yeah.
that was incredible.
Yeah. Barbara says that was a good call.
Oh, yeah.
Closing from Latoya.
Every single thing I wrote down, like I'd look up and someone was like, "Great call flow," and I was like, "Oh yeah, I just put that." I was like, "Oh man, like you're getting all my points, guys."
Yeah, seriously, they nailed it.
Yeah.
No, yeah, you guys are on top of it.
One thing I loved about that was she covered every base. She even like reassured her that her tune-ups was done, that one was coming, that it's like every single thing possible to make sure this customer felt like not only were they going to get help with their immediate issue, everything was covered. The company is totally on top of it, and there's no better reassurance than knowing, the company is ahead of you, knowing what you need, on top of it, giving the right information, using your name. Like, it was spot on. I love it.
That was a very good call. Now let's answer a question though here. I'm going to push back a little bit.
Yeah.
What would have, no, that's not the right way to ask it. The right way to ask this question is that customer undyingly loyal to this business now? Like, did they hang up that call and say to themselves, I never need to call another service provider ever again in my life because I just found the perfect company?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I have two things to that. So number one, I think the phone call went well, but to seal the deal, we have to follow through, right? The CSRs booking the call, the dispatchers talking to the customers, that's one point. But we have to complete the circle of the WOW experience. The technicians go out there. They also have a WOW experience. The issues handled perfectly, correctly. They're smooth the whole way through. I think it's more than just, our CSRs having the calls is a great first impression, but it's the whole the whole experience from start to finish that is going to help with that loyalty. That's why getting our CSRs and our technicians on the same page and creating that wow experience is so important, in my opinion.
When I'm looking at these phone calls that are really good, like clean, put together, booked correctly, a solid level of listening and empathy. The good news about this call is I'm nitpicky, right? And when you get really nitpicky, that means that everything was good, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
Like the CSR deserves a lot of credit and some kudos. But there's another level you can take that to. Like there is a higher plane where you provide such great service that they literally never forget it. Good customer service is so rare today that when you get a wow experience from a customer service provider, you quite literally never forget it. You always have it in the back of your mind, and you're always comparing future experiences to that one.
That's true.
I went to Costco 6 months ago, I think. Not even 6 months ago, actually. It was in April. It was in April. So it's been almost 4 months. At the beginning of April, and we were buying stuff for my son's birthday party. So we got him a cake, and we just got some other things for the birthday party. One of the Costco employees sees the cake, which by the way is buried in our cart. It's like underneath a bunch of stuff. And we broke all the rules when we put the boxes on top of the really delicate cake.
Come on, Dad.
She sees the cake though. She spotted it down there buried beneath all the stuff.
Smushed cake.
And she's like, whose birthday is it? And I point to my son and I'm like, it's his birthday. He's turning 6. And she looks at him dead in the eyes and she goes, happy birthday. And just the smile, right? That little smile, that extra little gesture that took it from a good customer service experience to, wow, I literally will never forget that experience ever. That's how rare they are. And you gotta be on the lookout for those types of opportunities. We got, she found the company to give her the certainty she is looking for. That's right. We talked about certainty last Friday, right? Customers buy certainty. Maybe not, but it's all about the experience. So it depends how it's executed at the end. That's correct. So the CSR is not the only person in this chain, right? There's still a service professional that needs to go out there, a happy call that needs to be made after the fact. There's more to it. But just imagine the loyalty that would be earned if each person in the chain created that kind of experience. It's a beautiful thing. Any other comments before we go to the third and final call?
Not for me. I'm happy with that call. I think you're right. There's another level of wow, but that was a great call. That was awesome.
Yeah, let's go to phone call number 3.
All right, let's do it. Here we go. Okay, let me see.
Thank you for calling. This is Destiny. How may I help you today?
Hi, I'm calling for John and Tosh. And one of the thermostats is given an error.
Okay, what does the error say?
It's outdoor unit 15, and then it gives a long number. And then the alert code error is 184.07.
Okay, what's the address?
Is this just a long pause?
Yeah.
So this is just dead air we're listening to right now. We should stop calling it dead air and we should call it poison air. Because the air itself isn't dead, so it does kill.
It's
Do you
killing.
have heat right now?
Some, yeah.
Did the customer just not hear?
But this house is so cold.
Okay, I'm gonna stop it right there for a second. I feel like just there when the customer said this house is so cold, she's like begging for some sort of empathy. She's like, this house is freezing, like wanting the CSR to get that, I mean, our customers do it all the time. They say things that they don't need to say, that have nothing to do. I mean, she already told her the issue. She told her the number of the exact code coming up, saying this house is freezing. That has nothing to do with the call. That's her begging for empathy. She wants to be validated that what she's experiencing is something that a company can help with. And I think it's so important to hone in on those moments where that's the connection. The house is freezing has nothing to do with the error code. It just has to do with the human wanting validation and empathy from another human being. And I think that, realizing and honing in on those little opportunities makes and breaks calls a lot of times.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah. And also, man, that dead air was awkward for me. That wasn't even on the call. Like,
it was confusing. Not sure why there was dead air.
Yeah.
You'd asked her a question. So
Yeah.
I'm curious to you guys to know what assumptions you made about that CSR in her personal life.
Good question.
Does she like her job?
I mean, no, obviously.
I don't think she likes her job.
I mean, obviously not. We say that, right? But I've met lots of CSRs who like their job and they sound like that.
True.
And that's a bummer. That's a
Very
big bummer because there's lots of people making some really poor assumptions about them. But that's what happens when your communication is at a level like that. If you can't communicate that you like your job, right? There's this idea that we have to sound like Mickey Mouse to be positive, and that is not the case. I just want you to sound like you want to be here.
True.
Just sound like you want to be here and like you're nice. Yeah. That's like all I'm asking right now.
Yeah.
That is so true because you can like I used to always say when I coached, you don't have to wrap it up in a warm, fluffy blanket and reach in and give your customer a hug. You just have to be present.
Yeah.
I mean, you can. I would love that, right? That's great. But with the CSRs who aren't that way, like, I'm not doing that. And it's like there's still a way to be present, to express that empathy, to make that human connection without having to jump through the phone and wrap them up in a minky blanket.
Right.
And I think she's like, I don't want to have a call unless I'm wrapped up in a minky blanket.
Don't leave me on my minky.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys have experienced this, but in your coaching sessions, when like I had a experience actually in a session with my CSR where it was dead air, and the CSR was like, Tosh, is the call cutting out? And I was like, no, it is like, this is still your call. And they were like,
you.
And I was like, yeah, this is real life. This is happening. And it was this like breakthrough moment because the CSR just doesn't realize they're doing their day-to-day things, and they don't realize that it's just coming across in just the most, the worst way. So it's important to realize those things, pick up on those little things that they might not even notice. I think this CSR in particular might have just maybe not. I mean, who knows? We can make assumptions all day, right? So
I often listen to these types of calls, and our instinct as customer service trainers is to say, oh, the customer and their cry for help. If I'm the manager of this CSR and I hear this phone call, I hope that manager interprets this as a CSR's cry for help.
Absolutely.
Go to that CSR and say, hey, I heard a phone call yesterday that doesn't really represent your best work. Is everything okay? Give people that opportunity. There's an amazing story I'll share. We'll close out with this. But there was a manufacturing company in the United States several years back that had an employee laundering money. So they were stealing from the company using company finances to pay for gas and groceries and stuff. Very awkward. And when the company found out about it, most businesses would say, get out of here. You're done. You're fired. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't do that. But what I am going to say is this company did not do that. Instead, this company brought the guy into the office and said, hey, we know that you've been stealing from the company. We know you've been using company funds to pay for your groceries, your gas, and other things. Is everything all right? And the dude broke down in tears.
Oh, I bet.
Just started bawling about everything that's going on in his life. And the company did not fire him. Instead, they put him on a plan to pay the company back everything that he'd stolen over time. Obviously, he was written up.
Yeah.
But he kept his job, and it changed his life. And more than that, what do you think it did for all of the other employees in the business?
They all started stealing money.
No.
Yeah. Too.
They now saw and they trusted that even at my worst,
Yeah.
my leaders will still have my back.
Totally. That's awesome.
You know?
Yeah, that's powerful. I love that.
CSRs are providing a terrible customer service experience over the phone. Rather than jump right into, well, they need to be fired or they need to get a new job or something's going on or, gosh, this person can't answer the phone. Like, what is wrong with them? You can't find good help these days, which is the most annoying thing that business owners say. Instead, just go and say, hey, is everything all right?
Yeah, I love that.
I like some of those ending comments. If you want to read, that's kind of what he's saying. You know, could have been given a lot of paperwork not related to customer service to get done, because that still happens at some weirdo places. You know, that's kind of what you're saying. You know, giving that benefit of the doubt is huge. Also, what Barbara's saying with best advice I can give people is to smile while on the phone, because you can hear it in the voice. It makes customers feel like you're glad that they called. I think that's a perfect little mic drop to the end of this, because you're right. You know, simple smile, sitting up a little taller, it shows, and you just can't deny it. So I love it. I love these comments today, guys. This has been awesome.
Yeah, awesome engagement. Any last words?
No. Happy Friday.
Thank you for letting me be here. I've loved it.
Tasha, Tatiana, thank you so much. We'll see you all next Friday at 11 a.m. Mountain Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Time for episode 62.
Sweet. We will be here. Can't wait to see everyone. Have a good day, guys.